Today I will be talking about virtual reality headsets, or as they are typically called, VR headsets. Our objectives for today are to define virtual reality and the term VR headset, a very brief history of VR headsets, discussing how much VR headsets cost, describing three different VR headsets, and taking an assessment. So please pay attention. You cannot mention VR headsets without defining the term virtual reality. The Google Dictionary defines virtual reality as the computer generated simulation of a three dimensional image or environment that can be interacted with in a seemingly real or physical way by a person using special electronic equipment, such as a helmet with a screen inside or goggles fitted with sensors. Some virtual reality environments do not require VR headsets, such as the ones listed below. A virtual reality headset is a device that is worn like goggles to see computer generated simulation of a 3D image and environment. It blocks out external light and shows the image on high definition screens. The earliest goals of the VR headset is to immerse someone in a game. This history is more of a timeline. In 1961, Headsight was the first VR helmet created by Chrome and Bion. This helmet had one screen attached to it with a tracking magnetic system. In 1965, Ultimate Display had a VR helmet with two screens that enabled the viewer to experience 3D images. This was created by Ivan Sutherland. In 1979, the McDonnell and Douglas Corporation integrated virtual reality into its head-mounted display. In 1980, Stereographics Company produced the StereoVision glasses. In 1985, VPL Research Incorporated was known as the first company to sell VR goggles and gloves. In 1991, Sega announced the Sega VR headset. It was not released until 1994. Also at that time, Victor Max introduced the CyberMax VR headset. There was a lot going on in 1994 because the Forte VFX1 was also released. It had stereoscopic displays, three axis head tracking, and stereo headphones. In 1997, Sony released the Glasstron, which had an optional positional sensor that allowed the wearer to view their surroundings by just moving their head. In 2012, a campaign for a headset known as Oculus Rift was released. The actual headset wasn't released for purchase until March of 2016. In 2014, Sony demonstrated a prototype for their PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation VR was released in October of 2016. HTC Vive was released in April of 2016, and the majority of these headsets were used for gaming. VR headsets can cost anywhere from several hundreds of dollars to less than $5. The picture on the left is of an HTC Vive, which will run you around $600. The VR headset in the middle is a Google Cardboard and will run you between $1 to $10. I have seen it on eBay as low as $1 and on Amazon as high as $10. The last picture is of a homemade VR headset. They do advertise DIY VR headset kits that can cost up to $20. These two types of VR headsets belong to two of my coworkers. One is the Samsung Gear, and the other is a Smart Theater. The first noticeable difference is size and just the look of it. The Samsung Gear is much heavier and provides a complete covering for a smartphone, along with cushions around the eyes. The Smart Theater weighs a lot less and only provides a strap to secure a smartphone. The advantage the Smart Theater has over the Samsung Gear is that as long as the cell phone fits in it, it can be used. The Samsung Gear is advertised as only being compatible with Samsung phones. The Samsung Gear can cost between $80 and $100, while the Smart Theater costs from $10 to $25, depending on where you purchase it from. The VR headset that is ideal for the classroom is the Class VR. The headset does not require a smartphone. It has a wireless connection to a software program where the teacher chooses or can even create VR environments for the students to explore. Please watch the 50-second video below that shows how easy it is to plan a lesson using Class VR. You can go to their website, www.classvr.com, and request a guide to VR and AR in education. They will email a guide to you. This is a list of the references I used. Assessment time. You can answer these questions on your own, but I have provided a link in the description section of this video that asks similar questions. Test your knowledge and see if you can become the new high scorer. When you go to the quiz, you want to start the quiz and you want to start without an account. It'll time you and then it'll ask you the questions. Thank you for listening.